Hi guys. I know it's been a little bit. I got a little sick and I had some personal things that I had to take care of. But I want to get back out here and do my daily dumps because I want to, I want to reach people. I want to help people. So let's get into it. I call the divine's helpers, and my guides, all from pure white divine light. Only those from pure white divine light are welcome. Please help me to be a channel and give and receive crisp, clear, accurate messages, please. Please protect me, protect my space, protect my cards, protect my channel, and those coming to this reading now and in the future, please. Thank you. What do you want to tell the collective today? What do you want to say to the collective today? I heard big change in my head. So maybe some of you are going through or getting ready to go through some really big changes. Thank you. So we have the Five of Wands. So conflict, gossip, reminiscing about the past, beating yourself up, negative self-talk. Maybe others around you are battling with you or fighting with you, arguing with you. But there's no swords in this, so, nobody's really honestly, seriously getting hurt. I mean, they might be getting their feelings hurt or whatever, but there's no actual real damage. It's kind of like, play fighting, kind of. But, I mean, I know it doesn't feel like that, but there are no swords, so nobody's getting actually pierced. But if you are negative self-talking yourself, that needs to come to an end. You need to stop doing that. You need to stop telling yourself you can't do it. You need to stop telling yourself you're not worthy, or, if I try this, this is probably going to happen. You need to start thinking more positive, and I know that's easier said than done, but it can be done. I'm proof of that. But, when those thoughts come, welcome them. Welcome them in, and sit with them for a minute. And allow yourself to feel them. And try to figure out where those things started coming from. Was it things that you were told when you were growing up? Because other people's opinions set in our subconscious, and unknowingly we start treating ourselves the way others have always saw us, and others have always, told us that we were, and that's not our truth. That's their opinion. And their opinion, forgive me for saying this, but it don't fucking matter. You know what I mean? When you go to kneel before the divine, you go to kneel before God, and he asks you, why'd you live your life like this? He's not going to accept, well, because that one didn't like it, or this one thought that was wrong, or, this one didn't understand my past, so I didn't take it. I didn't do it. I'm so sorry. He's not going to accept that, because he doesn't care about how others seen you. He doesn't care about what others thought of you or said to you. He cares about the path that he put you on, and whether or not you are following that path. So you really need to stop worrying about what other people think. And if that's what it is, and that's what's gotten in your head, and that's what's got you negative self-talking, you need to see that you're a beautiful person, and, that, this person right here is out there by himself, standing alone. And sometimes when you stand in your truth, you have to stand alone. But you're not alone because you're surrounded by love. You're surrounded by love of your family. You're surrounded by love of your friends. You're surrounded by love of your animals, the divine, your passed on loved ones, your ancestors. You are always surrounded by love. You are never alone. You know, never alone. That comes from an insecurity of feeling abandoned and feeling left out. And, you know, that way of thinking needs to change. So, you know, the big changes I believe that you're making is you're learning to understand that you are not what everybody says you are. And you're learning to stand in your truth. And if you're not, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be being yourself and standing in your own truth and not trying to be like anybody else or not trying to people please anybody, because those people you're trying to please, that's not going to please God. That's not going to please divine in the end. You have the Fool. So taking a leap of faith, you know. And if this is your destiny we're talking about, if this is a path you're supposed to be on, you need to trust that when you take that leap off that cliff, divine has you. God has you. You know, there is something down there to catch you. He will catch you when you fall, you know. And I think sometimes, you know, we go through so much pain in our lives that we come from a place of taking, you know, fear of taking that leap because we're so afraid of history repeating itself. We're so afraid of repeating that cycle. But you've already learned everything you need to learn. You know, he's carrying a knapsack. You know, this represents the knowledge that he's gained on his journey. He's left the pain behind. He's left the resentment behind. He's left the anger behind, the sadness. He's learned who he is. He's learned more about himself. He's taking that knowledge of all those lessons that he learned. He's lightweight. He's let the burdens down. He only has one stick here. And that's a stick of passion. That's a stick of adventure, you know, fire, creativity, and you know, his determination. And he's taking that stick with that little bit of knowledge that he's gained, which is, it doesn't look like much, but I'll guarantee it's a whole lot you've gained. And he's going to jump off that cliff, and he's just going to trust that the divine's going to catch him. He's going to lead him down the path, or they're going to lead him down the path that he needs to go on. And he may have been course corrected because of all of this, you know. There may have been a tower moment, something that made him fall to his knees. But in the end, it built his character, and he knows more about who he is now, and he's ready to go on this journey. And look, he's headed towards victory. He's leaving a battle. It's a battle that didn't feel so good, but he's victorious over it. He's learned what he needed to learn. He's won this battle. You know, you got to choose your battles sometimes. Sometimes some battles just aren't worth fighting. Other people's battles sometimes aren't worth fighting. You got to fight your own. And you're not going to win every single battle, you know. But if you continue on this healing journey and you continue on your path, you are going to win the war. And that's what this is all about. So what? You've lost some battles. Yes, they hurt. Yes, they took you down. Yes, you were the wounded warrior. Yes, maybe love disappointed you. But it's because you had expectations when you went into it. And, you know, maybe a job disappointed you. But that's because that was not the job for you. Maybe families disappointed you or friends are disappointed you. That's because you've left their vibration and you cannot step back down. You have to rise. You are going to teach them how to rise. And they're going to watch you and you're going to become an inspiration to them. And you can put your hand out and you can offer them a step up. But they have to accept that hand. If not, you know, there's nothing more you can do. You have to keep moving forward. We've got to stop going back. We've got to realize that if what's back there is meant for us, it will come and meet us. We've got to start climbing that ladder. We've got to start pushing forward. And that does hurt. You know, it hurts leaving people behind. It hurts leaving family behind. But just because they're left behind doesn't mean that you won't be back in their lives. That does not mean that. And if you're not, well, then they were not for your highest good. And I know that's hard for people to hear, but that's the honest truth. And I'm not about, feeding you what you want to hear. I'm not a reader that is about, shining up your ego and unicorn farts and rainbows and lollipops and all that good gummy stuff. I'm not about that. I'm authentic, and I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear about yourself. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear about yourself. The things that other people are scared to death to tell you because they are afraid of hurting your feelings. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm trying to be authentically me. And what is going to help you more? By lying to you and telling you what you want to hear, or telling you what you need to hear so you can you can correct the behavior. You can see the wounds and work on them and fix them and become a better version of yourself. Not better than anyone else, but a better version of yourself. I choose to tell you the truth straight up. And the truth hurts sometimes. Sometimes people ask for the truth, but the truth is not really what they want to hear. And if they get their feelings hurt because of that, that has nothing to do with the person giving the message. That has to do with the wounds that they need to go inside and work on themselves. So, I'm loud and I'm proud, but you know what? This is where I've been. This is the Three of Swords. These swords are stabbing this person's heart. They've been backstabbed. They've been betrayed. They've been left for dead. Anything that could happen did happen. And it kind of broke their spirit for a little bit. Or at least broke their self-esteem. But these swords that they put in your heart, they're not about you. They don't say who you are as a person. They say what kind of person they were. What wounds they got to work on. And their wounds are not your problem. They're their problem. You can give them knowledge. You can help them try to step up. You can set tools at their feet to try to help them. But honestly, in this world, the one thing that I have seen, there's a lot of people that don't want the knowledge. They don't care. They want to stay who they are. They don't want to better themselves. They don't want to better their lives. They want someone to do it for them. And you cannot do it for them. You cannot make someone change. Even if you're doing it for the best of reasons, even if you're doing it because you love them, you cannot make a person change. They have to want to. They have to want to pick up the tools that you set at their feet and use them for themselves. And if you're around somebody that is not doing that, that person is not for you. Now, that's not to say that later on in life they're not going to have an epiphany or a light bulb moment where all of a sudden what you said to them is going to make sense and they're going to choose to pick those tools up and do the work. But you cannot do the work for them. I tried that for years, for lots of people that I love, because I love all people. I'm about all people, even my enemies. I have no hate toward my enemies because I understand I have not walked 1 mile in their shoes. I do not know what they came from. I know that I trigger them, but I do not know why. And if that triggers them into healing, then that's fine. Then I trigger them. That's not my problem. If they hate me or they're mad at me or they don't like me, that's because they have some kind of insecurity that I am showing them about themselves. And that's not my problem. And I'm not being mean and I'm not being hateful. I'm literally being honest. It is not my business and it is not my problem. If they don't choose to pick up what I try to lay down, that is on them. You should have no guilt for moving forward. You should have no guilt for wanting to change your life. You should have no guilt for wanting to be the best version of yourself. And if there are people trying to hold you back from that, well, then they weren't in your corner to start with. But the fact that this card has come out, it shows that you've been through a battle, you've been through the ringer. But it also shows that this is going to turn upside down. And you're going to heal this. And you're going to come out of this. And you're going to feel so much better when you do. I feel like this conflict is something of the past. It may be an old way of being. You may be, shedding your old self and becoming a new version of yourself. I feel like this is, it's going out. This way of thinking. This getting in the drama. This being around the gossip. You don't want to be around gossip because that brings your vibration down. You're always in the negative when you surround yourself with gossip. People like this are around you. They only gossip because they're jealous. They only gossip because they're intimidated. And they don't want you to shine. They don't want your light out there. They want to shut you up and put you in a corner. And that's what you've got to understand. The way that these men treat you, the way that these women treat you, the way that so-called friends treat you, or even your enemies, it's a reflection on how they feel about themselves inside. And you make them have to feel that inside. So they want to shut you up. They want to dim your light. You cannot let them. Come out of this heartbreak and realize that this was never about you. Even if you've been in a shitty-ass relationship where you've been treated like shit most of your life, or most of the relationship, I mean this in no disrespect, even your parents, even your upbringing. My mom tried her damnedest to raise us the best way that she could, but she couldn't protect us from everything, and her lifestyle couldn't protect us. Her lifestyle put us in a lot of pain, put us through a lot of things. Stepfathers that I've had in my life put me through a lot, put my brothers and sisters through a lot, and mom couldn't be the parent that she needed to be. But why? Because she had already been wounded. She had already been hurt. She put her guard up. She had her walls up. My mom was the type of person, she told you a lot that she loved you, but you didn't feel that warmth coming off of her. And I spent my whole life wanting to be different, wanting to be a different person, wanting to give my love, wanting to receive love, and I spent a lot of time chasing that love because I didn't have it growing up. I didn't have those nurturing, wrap around your wrap you up in a hug kind of love. Yes. Did I hug my mom? Yes. Did I kiss my mom? Yes. But there was a coldness there. There was a coldness because she was guarded. She was wounded. And we learned her cycles. We went through life living her life. Living the way we were brought up. Because that's the way we believed that love was supposed to be. I was in many, many abusive relationships. Because that is what my mother did. That is what I seen growing up. But that is not what I deserve. And she didn't deserve it. And my mom was a strong woman. But heartbreak comes. But it comes to build character. It comes to put you on your knees and build you up a better version of you. So work on your healing. Work on self-love. Work on taking care of yourself. Work on focusing on yourself, Don't let these naysayers and these people that are gossiping and these people that are running your name through the mud, don't let them affect you, because I promise you, the truth will be seen. You don't have to take up for yourself. It will show clearly in who you are as you grow. I'm in no way saying that heartbreak is easy. I mean, I've shut my heart down. I've blocked it. I've put walls up. I've built so many walls, it's hard for anybody to even get in. I'm learning to lower those walls. I'm learning to trust myself and trust the divine. Trust God. You know, I had expectations on relationships. I got in relationships and we went through that honeymoon phase, and I saw that as that's how that person was. But the honest to God truth is, when you come into a relationship with someone, you're wanting to put your best foot forward, even if that means doing things to make them like you. You know, I'm guilty of that myself, going over and above for them to like you. And they do the same. And then once that honeymoon phase wears off, sometimes you find you have nothing in common. Nothing at all. Some things, sometimes, yes. But then your true mask starts falling off. You know, your true face starts showing. The mask falls off. And you start getting comfortable in that relationship and you become who you really are. Or you become miserable because you've spent so much time pretending. And the pretending has gotten old. You've got to come into relationships being you. If you take 5 naps a day, continue to do that. Don't stop doing that because you had somebody come in you're interested in. Because honestly, if that person really cares about you and they're really for you, they're going to be for you no matter what. If you don't do the dishes every night, so what? Don't try to impress people. Try to be yourself no matter what. And I am guilty of that. I've gotten my heart broken. I mean, literally broken to where I literally felt like something snapped in my heart. Because I was so busy trying to be what I thought they would want me to be. And the more I did that, the more I got treated like shit. So don't do that. Don't do that. Because you're lying to yourself as well as lying to the other person. You are not being authentic. And I'm not saying you're a bad person. You know, these are things that we've learned. No, I learned that abuse was the way that people showed that they loved you. And that's not true. It's just not true. And I learned growing up, you know, as I got older, that it wasn't. But that's because my mother was strong enough to leave the relationships that abused her. But not before it did a lot of damage to me and my brothers and my sisters. Yes, see? Stand your ground. Be who you are. Be who you are. Be who you want to be. Who cares about these naysayers? Who cares about these people down here who are gossiping and trying to get to you and trying to tear you down? Stand your ground and be who you are. And be proud of who you are. Don't try to be like me. Don't try to be like anybody else. Be you. Who are you authentically? Stand your ground for your beliefs about yourself, about life, about whatever. Your faith. Stand your ground. Don't let anybody shake you. Get in this chariot and move forward. You know? This chariot has 2 horses trying to go 2 different ways. You know? You want to move forward, but you're negative self-talking yourself. You're talking yourself out of it. Come in alignment with your heart, your mind, and you know, your soul. Your soul knows where to go. Your soul already knows the mission, already knows the journey. Get in this chariot. Make a decision to move forward. Take this leap. Move forward. And go. Whether that be go to a new job. Whether that be go to a new way of thinking about yourself. You don't even have to leave the relationship. But you have to change the way you perceive it. And both people have to do that for it to work. If it's a relationship. If it's a job. If you can't have a compromise there. You're being treated like shit. It's time for you to go. Get in that chariot and go forward. Go on a new adventure. You know, we're always writing our stories. We're always writing our books, you know, and our chapters. Maybe there's a chapter in a book that needs to end, and maybe you need to start a whole brand new book. Go on a new journey. Is it going to hurt? Yeah, you're probably going to have some knockdowns. Because I guarantee you, no matter what you do in life, there's always going to be some kind of obstacle. You know, somebody's going to let you down. You're going to let somebody down. You know, you can't please everybody. But you do need to make sure that you love yourself and you please yourself at the end of the day. And I know people are going to tell you that's selfish. They've told me that. But honestly, do you believe that you're God or divine or whatever you believe in? Do you believe that they would want you to be unhappy in anything? No. And if that means having to turn the attention toward yourself and self-love and be what others call as selfish, well then do it. Because you cannot help others if you do not help yourself. You cannot be there for your kids. If you're not filling your own cup, how are you supposed to fill theirs? If you're not taking care of yourself, how are you going to be able to have the energy or the time or the mindset to help someone else? You have to take a time out. You have to self-love. You have to fill your own cup. And those who think it's selfish, well, they just don't think that they're worthy of it. And they want to keep you down. They don't want to see you succeed. They're jealous. You might do something that they can't do. Or you might do something that they want to do but never actually took action on. Yes, go forward with your truth. Swords, clarity, truth. You know? Could also be a messenger coming in with some truth for you. Either way, this is also you on this horse, rushing forward with your own truth, standing your ground on what you believe in. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Just as long as you leave yourself open to be flexible and to learn. You need to always be in a position of learning. You can teach, yes, but you will never know it all. You will never know it all. Not till the day you die. And if you think you do, God will humble you. He will knock you back down on your ass and make you rebuild yourself. Because you are always meant to be flexible. And I'm guilty of not doing that. He's had to put me on my ass I don't know how many times. But I've always came out a changed person, and so will you. Stand in your truth and rush forward. Also, if you take this like this person is rushing towards this chariot. So if you're in this chariot, someone may be bringing you a message, bringing you some truth. And sometimes that truth might hurt. But it's not meant to hurt. It's meant to help. And if you get hurt by what someone else says, that's a trigger for you. That's a wound you need to go in and find. That's a wound you need to work on healing. You need to figure out where it come from, where it started. And you're going to think that you've healed that wound. You're going to think that, okay, I've already worked on this. You know, I'm past this. And there's something else that's going to come along later and show you that you haven't. You haven't gone deep enough. You know, you may have just scratched the surface. You may have to go deeper. And the deeper you get, you're going to go all the way back to childhood. Or you're going to go all the way back to your first relationship. You're going to go all the way back. You're going to start thinking about those things. And when you're thinking about those kind of things, about the pains of the past, there's some knowledge in there for you. There's something in there for you to dig up and learn. It's coming back for a reason. There's something you haven't healed in it. What else? Yeah, the guarded warrior. You know, beat, battered. Usually in other cards it shows bandages on his head. He's been through the war. He's been through a lot. This represents the battles that he's won. But he's also lost quite a few. But they weren't battles worth fighting. He come out that fool with that wand. You know? Guarded, yes. Alert? Oh yeah. You're going to be more alert about what's around you. You're going to be more watchful. You're going to be more held back. You're going to be more guarded. But don't let that close your heart off. Don't let that break your spirit. Get out there and shine. Get out from in front of those battles. You've already planted them. They're already there. That's all the knowledge. That represents all the knowledge, all the lessons that you've been through, the wisdom that you've gained. Go on and take that journey. Those wands, that knowledge, it's going to be there. It's going to be safe. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to be guarded anymore. You know the red flags. You've been there. What else? What else? Tower. So yeah, your world got shook up. You know, divine tore it back down. There's cracks in this foundation that was built. Your foundation, whatever you were building, it wasn't solid. You know, a good rainstorm or a good lightning storm or hurricane come and knocked it down, and it feels like shit. You know, it does. Anytime you're brought to your knees, it feels like shit. But that doesn't mean you lay there and you die and you give up. That means you get back up to live another day. You start rebuilding. You know? Do you think that the people whose houses are taken away by hurricanes and earthquakes, do you think they just lay there and die? You know? Or do they get back up and rebuild? They rebuild because they know they can, you know, and they're smarter this time. So they build it stronger. Build it on being authentic, no matter what. Don't let anybody shake your authenticity, you know. Build it on being who you are. Don't build it trying to people please. Don't build it worrying about what others think. Build it on how you are. And that new foundation that you're building, that new tower which represents you, your body, your temple, it will be so strong nothing will be able to come and shake it down. Will you have feelings about things? Yes. But it will not get you out of your it will not get your emotions unbalanced. You will stand steady. Anybody can throw anything at you that they want. They can throw any words at you. They can throw any gossip at you. They can do anything that they want. And you're not going to worry about it. You're going to be strong. If a relationship falls, you're still going to stand strong. Because you will know who you are. You will know. And the way that people will see the truth is your foundation will still be standing while theirs crumble. Divine is not going to allow people to continue to be fake. Not going to allow people to continue to wear masks. Continue to hide behind a mask and act like somebody else for somebody else. Or deceive another person. Those days are ending. We are taking our power back. Yes, look, see? Taking your power back. You have the whole world in your hands. The whole world. You're independently owned and operated. Look at that cat. Cats are independent. They go find their own food. If you don't feed them, they're not going to starve. I guarantee you they're not going to starve. They're going to find something. You have this wand. That's growth. That growth is your knowledge. That growth is how to rebuild and rebuild strong. You're already growing it. Those seeds are already planted. You've planted them or they've been planted in your mind. You know, on who you really are. You're going on that journey. You're getting on that boat. Getting in the chariot and you're moving forward. And you're going to find your paradise island. And you have everything you need to create that. Everything. You have all the tools to manifest. And if you don't want it anyway. Because divine will provide you with what you need if you're doing what your heart's passionate about. You're following your passions and you're following yourself and you're being authentic and you're on that journey. What you need will show up. What else? What else? What else? You know, the devil comes in and he tempts you and he takes you down and he breaks you down. But that's only because he's testing your faith in God. He's testing your faith in yourself. And God's allowed him to come in and do this because you know what? God trusts you. He has faith in you. He doesn't only ask you to have faith in him. He has faith in you. You are his wounded warrior. He puts his warriors on the front line because he knows you can get the job done. You have some kind of offer slowly coming into you. It's going to be a grounded, stable offer. It's going to be a knight, so it's not a page, so it's not something young and still in study. They've learned a little bit, you know. They've learned more than a page. They've had some lessons themselves. They're more stable and steady. Success, grounded, you know, growth. They're bringing it in, but they're bringing it in very slow. This could also be you slowly learning your worth. You know, could represent that too. But the knight, he's supposed to be a king. And he will transform. He will. You may grow together. You know? But your relationship should always be evolving. Whether that be job, that be person, whatever. Family, friends, it should always be evolving. And if it's not, it's gone stagnant. It's not moving. This horse is not moving. So something has become stagnant. Or this person coming towards you has become stagnant. But like I said, he's going to transform into a king. But first, he's got to go on a journey. And he's going to get sidetracked on that journey several different ways, you know. May stop off at the bar, may put his feet in the water. You know, he may take a swim. He may go on a nature hike on his way. And then halfway through, he's gonna remember he forgot his damn crown. So he's got to go all the way back to the kingdom and get his crown. And then come all the way back, getting sidetracked. And if you're patient, and it's going to take a lot of patience. And while you're waiting for this to come in, you've manifested this. Your energy and your wishes, Divine's heard them. And it's bringing something into you. But you've got to be patient with yourself. You've got to be patient with the Divine because it's in Divine's time. It's not in yours. And it's free will. This person has got to do the work too. This person has got to come to you correctly. Divine will not let them come in until they come correctly. Come wearing that crown. Or at least having it in their hands and you all evolve together and learn together and finally put that crown on the head. My point is that you've got to have patience with yourself. And while you're waiting on this, focus on you. Focus on you. Don't focus on a relationship. Don't focus on somebody else. Don't focus on the nearest gossip. Don't focus on all the problems that surround you but are not your own. Focus on you. Grow your own coin. See your own value. And when the time is right, you will meet this person, or you will meet this career, or you will meet this job. Divine will give that to you. They will bring it in when it's ready. And right now, since it's in Knight energy, not King energy, it's not ready. And neither are you. Yeah, see? Not ready. You're stuck in your head. Swords represent thoughts and truths. But you're stuck in your head. You're blindfolded. Your hands are tied behind your back. You're feeling stuck. I said stagnant. Not moving anywhere. Stuck. This is stuck energy. But if you take that blindfold off, well, if you step back to these swords, you'll see that they're sharp enough to cut those bondages that you're in. And you take that blindfold off, you're going to realize that you're not stuck. You never were stuck. These swords are spaced out to represent that you were never stuck. There's always a way through. Maybe you've got to talk to divine. Maybe you've got to get quiet. Maybe you've got to self-love and meditate. Listen to yourself, not what others are telling you. Listen to yourself. Don't even listen to what I'm telling you. Sit down and listen to yourself. I'm a guide. I can give you knowledge. I can set it at your feet. It's your choice on whether you pick it up or not. But I don't know your individual story. This reading is for many people out there, and it's going to resonate in a different way. And I'm not going to know how it's going to resonate with you. Only you are. But the fact of the matter is, you are not stuck. You can move forward. You can take this leap. You are holding yourself back by negative self-talk, which is what I felt on this card. You believe you can't do it. You believe you're not worthy. You believe it's not going to work out. You're believing all of the negative things that could happen if you do this. You've got to get out of that. And you've got to see, this is just thoughts. It doesn't really exist. It's an illusion. You're not stuck. Queen of Cups. Getting your emotions balanced. Queen of Cups has her emotions balanced. Nothing outside of her shakes her emotions up. She keeps her emotions steady and grounded. And no matter what comes in, it won't create this. Not emotionally. Because she knows who she is. And she knows she's not what everybody else says she is or perceives her to be. She knows who she is. She knows what her value is. She knows what she's got to offer. She's filled her cup. She's looking at this cup. Who am I going to offer my love to? Who am I going to nurture? What job am I going to nurture? You know, because whoever she gives this to, she's responsible for this cup. She's responsible for her own heart. She's responsible for her own emotions, and she knows that. She knows that. She's not going to give her cup to just anybody because she doesn't know how they're going to treat it. Are they going to throw it on the ground and spill it out, smash it? She's been there. She's done that. So she has learned to take a step back, sit back on her throne, and watch other people's reactions. Watch other people's attitudes. Watch how they treat other people in their life. If they're going to treat other people in their life like shit, they're going to treat you like shit. If they treat their parents like shit, they're going to treat you like shit. Jobs too. If you see them treating employees like shit, do you really want to get that job? Because they're going to treat you like shit too. It's time to learn our value and hold that cup back and not offer it until we know somebody is worthy of having it. Because if they spill it, if they backstab and betray, if they crush it in the dirt like it means nothing to them, that's not on them. That's on you for handing it to them. Look, I cannot make this up. Where did it go? You're the creator of your own world. The magician. The magician has his pentacles, has his stability. Even if you don't have money. If you are happy where you are, and your bills are paid, you may not have extra to spend on luxury and all of that, but you have the necessities. You should be grateful for that. A lot of people have less. Divine will make a way for you to have more If you just believe and you stop coming from a place of not believing you have lack, I don't have this, I don't have that. You're never going to have it with that attitude. Because divine reads energy. Does not read, what you say. You turn around and you say something to somebody, doesn't make it so. If you don't feel it in here, and if you don't feel worthy, you're not going to have it. But you are the magician, so you do have it. You have all the abundance. You have the joy. You have the happiness. You have happiness around you. You have love surrounding you. You got your pentacles, you know. That's your finances. That's your grounding. That's your stability. That's your root chakra. You have your swords laying on this table. That's your thoughts, getting them in a line, getting them straight. Stop self-negative talking. You have the power to do that. Only you have it. No one else has it and can give it to you. You have your wands, your fire, your passion. You have your cups, your emotion. You have all the tools you need to create whatever kind of life you want. And you have the whole world in your hands to create it. So what happens in the future? Well, it depends on you. How are you going to choose to perceive things? Is your cup half empty? Or is it half full? That was a very deep, very long reading. I didn't expect it to be that long. I didn't expect it to go that deep. But I guess somebody out there needed to hear it, you know? And I've been there. I've been that somebody that needed to hear it. And I've been the one who's been resisting and denying it. You know? Once you see your worth, you will never unsee it. It doesn't matter what comes in. It won't shake it. Have faith in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust the divine. They're trying to lead you where you need to go. Your soul already knows. I feel for you for the heartbreak, because I know what it feels like. I know how much it can tear you down. But I also know that if you're on this journey, how strong you are, how beautiful you are. And you're a beautiful soul, and that's why they've tried to crush you. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm really interested in what's going on with you. I really do care. I really do want to know if these messages resonate. You know? I'm not just here to gain money. I mean, up till now, I've never even asked for a dime. I'm doing this for free. And I'm doing it because I want to help you heal. I want to help you grow. I want to help you shine. Because you deserve to. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Help me pay it forward. And you pay it forward back. Love you all. Bye.